Hey, everybody. Good evening. I'm here all by myself. I'm here alone. Again, kicking it old school, just like we're back in New London, Connecticut, baby. But instead, we're in the same... What is in my coffee? See, the good thing... Oh, it's just bubbles. See, the good thing about the coffee I'm drinking now is it's instant coffee, which you only drink if you're in prison. That's usually where you drink it, is if you're in jail. They make you, they mix it with water and all that stuff. Which, for a lot of people my age, and people who are a little older than me as well, that's what life has become. Just an endless prison sentence. I mean, if you think about it, this room that I'm in, I've never been in a jail or a prison or anything, but I would guess this might be like a luxury suite. Like if you murdered, let me sit back here so we can see my everything. Like if you murdered a family or something and they put you in protective custody or whatever the case is, this would probably be about the size of one of those rooms, roughly. And I normally don't drink... I'm not like a coffee snob or anything, but I like a good cup of coffee. It's one of the simple joys of life, and I drink it black. So a good quality coffee is usually better when you're not masking it with sugars and all this stuff. And I don't do it to be healthy, by the way. I actually just like the taste of black coffee. It tastes like 25 to life, this particular one. But, I'm drinking the instant shit just because I had it. I had it around on my empty bar cart. I got a bar cart over here that I'm looking at right now, and there is maybe a swallow of Kahlua in there and a full bottle of Zambuca. So if you want to get riled up and get real fucking Italian, you want to hit your wife, I got some liqueurs here for you. But I'm drinking the instant espresso, or the instant coffee. It's supposed to be instant espresso. I don't know. Cafe Bustelo. It's, legendary brand, sponsor of the show. I got a tube that I'm making over here. It's really long. It's like a bunch of the cans put together. It's like when you were in college and you'd see how many Natty Light cans you can stack up to the ceiling. That's what I'm doing with coffee cans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with jelly and fuck it. I'm going to fuck it. I'm going to stick it on my cock and fuck it like a dog. But, I'm drinking the instant espresso that I normally would have only used to make espresso martinis, like a quick version. When I would have some dumb bitch over at the house. No, when I would have people at the crib, I would, and the bar cart was full with stuff, I would make people drinks. And I haven't done that in a while. I don't have the vodka. I don't have any of the other ingredients that go into an espresso martini anymore. So I just figured, fuck it, let's do this. Plus, I'm down to my dick and balls, son. I am down to the base of my shaft, baby, where the pubes run free, where they run wild. I am in a rough patch, boys, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's go over, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's always a fun time of year. It's always, I've been talking about it since I've done this podcast. It's almost like a seasonal topic for me to talk about how Thanksgiving and Black Friday are the most American holidays ever. Like ever. Right, more than the 4th of July. That week from Monday to Monday, and I pick Monday to Monday for a specific reason, and you'll see why, is just a week to be the most gluttonous, greedy, fat pig that this country can produce. That's literally what it is. That's literally what the entire week is for, and thank God we have it. Thank God we have it, because if we didn't have that little reset right at the end of the year, that little bit of rest, if you want to call it that. For some people, it's not rest. For some people, it is. Some people, it's chill. Some people, you go to your aunt's house, who's very sweet, and she's made a fantastic spread, and everybody just brings. She says, don't bring nothing, just bring your favorite alcohol, bring whatever and if you want to bring a cake, a little dessert, that's fine, but we got everything, don't worry about it. And the house is packed, and oh man, and everybody's happy to see each other, and all the cousins and the aunts and uncles, and it's great, That's nice. That's a good reset. And even if it's not that, even if it's small, even if it's a small thing, you see, your dad's brother comes by with his kid, and it is what and it's nice. It is a nice reset. But it's also a reset. The week is a reset in the sense that you can just let loose. You can let every bit of gluttonous greed. Should I just do all the deadly sins? You should let it's a week to let all that out. And if you don't have that, I think this point of the year there would be more homicides. I think there'd be more problems if that didn't happen. Because from September to the end of December, it's just a mad dash to the end of the year. It's mayhem. And without Thanksgiving in between, if all you have to look forward to is Christmas and New Year's, people would just go nuts. People would go nuts in this fucking country. You know how many breaks we get as a country not in the day-to-day. The day-to-day here, everyone knows you just are a maniac. You inject caffeine into your body as soon as you can. You don't even think about water. You go and you make a cup of coffee, and then you get the fuck out and you make $1 billion, or you plot on making $1 billion, or you become famous, or you fucking barely are able to live, but you have to do that because you really don't have an option. So you have to go all the fucking time. And then to keep us satiated, we have stupid little holidays, federal holidays throughout the year, and legitimate holidays as well, where it gives people time. Now, when you get to the month of November, we're almost done, but you're right in the middle of the horror that is the last quarter of the year. The last quarter of the year is people getting ready mostly for Christmas. Okay, they're really getting ready for Christmas, and they're trying to set themselves up to start the next year on a high. That's really what it is. This part of the year, people say, well, it's the holidays, it's nice, it's family, and no, it's not. It's the rest of the year. It's the other fucking 8 months just condensed into 4. That's really what it is. That's why when you blink, like it's already December. The last time I looked up, I was getting ready to dress up on Halloween so I could mug people. I'm kidding. I didn't do that. Did I even dress up for Halloween? We did. Oh yeah, we did I was dressed as Zeus. How could I forget that? But I don't think I did anything. I think I went to an open mic also dressed as Zeus, which is maybe the worst thing that anyone could ever do. Halloween or not, but here's the thing. That's what this part of the year is. So if you just took the American way of life and condensed it into 1 week, it would be the week of Thanksgiving. And the reason why I say that is because most people will take most of the week off. Okay, there's 3 major holidays, 4 actually, in that week. 4 major holidays. Okay, Thanksgiving is the big one. Okay, and then maybe if we're going to go most American holidays, it goes Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then the 4th of July. That's really what it is. And it's crazy because the 4th of July is like the birth of our nation. It's like how our country became. And it is a very American holiday. We like to, blow shit up and scare veterans. That's fun, and cook outside and whatever. That's cool. But there's 3 of the most important American holidays in this week, Monday to Monday. All right? You get what I'm saying? In those days, In those 8 days, if you count them like that, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah. In those 8 days, there's more importance. There's more patriotism in those days than there are any other point in the fucking year. Now, the other holiday that happens, I said there's 4. Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and Blackout Wednesday. Now, Blackout Wednesday is a very fun kind of pseudo holiday. It is very fun. Now, excuse me if I keep sipping from my coffee. What happens is when it's instant, it's not hot. You don't make it on a stove or in a pot. For me, what I do is I microwave water, and then I add. You know what I'm saying? Like I microwave the water. Because it takes out the toxins when you microwave it. Oh yeah, that's nice. Tastes like I'm getting fucked. Tastes like I'm getting fucked in my cell tonight, baby. So, Blackout Wednesday, for those of you that don't know, it's the day before Thanksgiving where everybody gets fucked up because Thanksgiving is not enough. Okay, Thanksgiving is not enough, and you don't want to be a fool in front of your family. You don't want to act like a goddamn animal in front of your family. So Blackout Wednesday is what you do. Blackout Wednesday, that is the hometown heroes day. If you're listening to this and you haven't left your hometown and you frequent bars and you miss all your friends are gone, man. Your friends are gone. They went on to chase something. They got married or they got a house. They're really into the career. They're taking an adventure. They're driving across. People are doing stuff. They're taking a cross country trip to see the country, or they're traveling. And you don't have that. You work a job. You deliver you deliver bread. Is that even a fucking job anymore? I delivered bread for a little bit. I even lied on an application today that I did it for a year. I did it for like 4 months, but I'm trying to get another job, so you gotta lie. You gotta lie. It's so crazy when I hear these people. Oh, I just got this new serving job. You ever served before? No, I just lied. Oh, interesting. So I could have just lied. I could have actually been doing a real job where you make money, where you actually make money. I could have actually done that. And then switched and just lied. Wouldn't that have been? I wish I knew that instead of spending 10 years doing it, and now I can't find a job. Isn't it funny how you spend 10 years doing a thing that people like? I get it, comedy. You do it for a long time and it doesn't take off, and I understand that. That's fine because it's much more abstract. But if you're a server and a restaurant bartender for 10 years and you can't find a job, and then there's some idiot that comes from fucking Milwaukee and instantly gets a job in Times Square somehow without, and you say, what did you do? Oh, I used to scoop ice cream. I used to scoop ice cream near the beach. There used to be a nice, there used to be a nice beach over by the lake. There's a nice lake over in Milwaukee. And I used to scoop ice cream for the kids. It was seasonal. It's a lot like bartending. And these are the people that get the jobs. So, so you're a hometown hero, okay? Thanksgiving is your time because all your friends that have gone out and done something incredible, or not even incredible, just something different. They ventured off. They've done something else. They wanted to see what else was out there, in whatever facet that means. They come back. They come back. Even if they still live in the state, even if they still live in the town, but they're just focused on something else, they will hit you up because they know that you got nothing else going on, buddy. This is your time. This is your time to shine, baby. This is your 5 minutes. This is your 5 minutes. You're going to take them out. You're going to say, this is the spot. This is the spot. They're going to say, man, I haven't been out in a year, man. I just been working. I've been saving money. I've been hanging out with my girlfriend and my dog, and we've been traveling a little bit, but we've really been, we've been kind of staying in every once in a while. We might go out and go get dinner and maybe get a drink or go see a show, but we just kind of been laying low. And for some people, Blackout Wednesday is their opportunity to, again, let loose, like an American, just let loose. Let it go. Because there's a part of you in the back of your head that you're like, man, I've worked so hard, and I just want to get fucking blasted. I want to get fucked up, and I can't do that because. And here's the thing: the people who are really into whatever it is that they're doing, they don't necessarily even have that itch to go get fucked up, to go do that thing. And this is where you come into play. You come into play, you say, hey, man, we're going to start here. We're going to go over here. There's a hot bartender that I've been talking to. I hit her up on Instagram, and she tells me to come sit at her bar. And she really likes me, man. She really likes me. I usually spend 3 or 4 hours, a couple $100, and she always invites me. I could smash, but I don't know. I mean, it might be weird. I mean, I'm there all the time. It could be weird, but she hits me up and she's like, hey, and I always tip well, and so you go to that place, and then we'll go to this. Oh, and then we go to this place, and there's so many there's a bunch of young girls there. There's a bunch of young hot chicks. They're all college age. Oh man! And then I talk to them. I tell them about Kurt Cobain. They're all wearing T-shirts with Nirvana on them. So I go up to them. I say, hey, you know about Kurt Cobain? Kurt Cobain shot him fucking self. Or I go up to him. I say, I don't think he killed himself. I go up to girls with the Nirvana shirt on with the Nevermind, the Nevermind font on the top, and I go. I think Courtney Love killed him. And then that starts. So we'll go there, and then we'll go a couple blocks down the way. And this guy's got the itinerary. It is his time to shine. He is your shaman for this spiritual guide, this spiritual journey that you're about to go on, known as Blackout Wednesday. And that sets you up for the next day, because what you do is you drink all night. You drink, you act foolish. Maybe you hook up with your ex from high school, or a girl that you always wanted to smash from high school, and now you're both old and over the hill. Well, she is, because she's a woman. I'm kidding. But you're both older and fatter, but she still got like a big ass. Like her ass is still kind of big. It's like when an aging boxer starts to lose his speed, but the power is still there. He doesn't have the finesse. The technique is starting to slow down, but his head movement up, but the power's still there. That's what it is when a girl gains a little bit of weight. She gets a little bit older. She's still pretty, still attractive. Nothing wrong with a girl with like a couple extra pounds, but she got that big old ass behind her. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. That's a bad thing, doing a black set. But hey, man, I mean, From Me Till Friday, that's a lot of the shit we do on there. No, a great equalizer is a big fat ass. Seriously. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter what you talk about. If you got a big old ass, that's it. But that's the thing. That's what you do. Blackout Wednesday, you get fucked up. Oh, yeah. You start early. You say, bye, Mom and Dad. I'm going to go see Tom. And Tom welcomes you with open arms. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's got those square sunglasses, the ones that everybody wears. He's got those on. They're Ray-Bans, but it cost half his check. But he bought them because they're Ray-Bans. And you meet him. He's got a voucher from the casino in his hand that he's got to go cash in for $36.50. He's got $36.50 on a voucher that he's got to go cash because you guys have a good night ahead of you. Maybe you end up at a strip club, whatever. So that's Blackout Wednesday. You let loose and you get fucked up. And the next day you wake up, you're hungover. You don't show your family that. You can't show your family, unless they're also animals too, if they're degenerates and everything. See, my family likes to pretend that we have like these traditional values. Like we have these weird, like we're a traditional family, which doesn't make sense because we're as fucked up as anybody. I mean, Jesus Christ, we are as fucked up as any person. I mean, so many times we've sat around a table and just bitterly looked at the food and said nothing. Like, I didn't know you could be bitter and say nothing. How can you be angry and say nothing? But that's kind of what we would do. And you know, you kind of put to the back of your mind some of the horrors and the indignities that you witnessed as a child at the feet of your dysfunctional family. And you kind of have to put that in the back here. But some people, they're you know, their families are wide open. People get hammered. People get fucked up. They get into fights, you know, with their families. And it's fun. And it's a real fun thing. But my family's kind of small and quaint and quiet, and nobody's really got anything interesting to talk about. So they bring up some story from when I was a kid. You remember when you were a kid, someone gave you $5 because you was so cute. Good. Where's that $5 now? That money's spent. That $5. If someone gave me $5 now, I would say, where's the rest? Give me more. That's the other thing. That is a true story, by the way. Somebody apparently gave me, but where did that money go? That's what I want to know. Where'd that money go, Mom? Where'd that money go? Where'd that money go? Did you put it on your credit card that you owe? Did you put it on your credit card that you haven't paid in months? Is that what you did? But anyway, I digress. Now Thanksgiving is the next part of the gorge, the Great Gorge. That should be a new movie. The Purge is the one thing. Now it should be the Gorge, where it's a movie about the week of Thanksgiving. Nobody steal this idea. This might not be a bad idea. But then you go to Thanksgiving, whatever your Thanksgiving is, you go and you sit down and you eat as much goddamn food as you possibly can. You eat as much goddamn food as you possibly fucking can. You just house it. Everyone knows that. You house it, and then you fall asleep. That's really all it is. You eat, and then you fall asleep just like the Pilgrims did. Just like the Pilgrims did, man. Just like they ate and ate and ate. They ate so much that they were tired of having Indians around. They got tired, and they all fell asleep, and they had dreams of a land with no Indians. And they woke up, and they said, I think I know what we're going to do next year. Next year's going to be sick. Next year's going to be awesome. And instead of Blackout Wednesday, it's Cholera Wednesday. I don't know if they had days. I'm sure they had days of the week back then, but they were probably called something different. But instead of getting fucked up themselves, they would give Indians blankets. That was Blackout Wednesday. Blanket Wednesday. How about that? Now the coffee's nice and cold, so it's like black sewer. It's like black bitter water, which is nice. I don't mind that. So then you do that, right? You sit there, you argue with your crazy lib aunt, which I do have one of. I do have that. She's actually my mom's cousin, but when they're old like that, you just call them your aunt. You know, it's like my mom's cousin, but she's old. She's like an old woman, you know, like the same age as my mom, like early 60s. So I'm not going to call her my cousin. That don't work. That's my aunt. That's my aunt. And I actually, you know what? I don't have any cousins on my mom's. I mean, I guess it would be because they're all. My mom is a only child, so she has cousins because her uncle had like 4 kids, and then my family is very barren. My family doesn't have children. Like, of the 4 kids, 2 of them had children, and they were only children, by the way. So that's what happens on that side of the family. They have 1 kid or no kids, and then they're like, we don't have the money for this. I mean, we don't have the money for this. I mean, you know, one of them's a mechanic, and they sell, wood. They sell they live like in the woods, you know. So they'll put like lumber outside, not like real lumber, but like firewood, and they'll just like put it out there, and that's like how they make money, like a mechanic, and then they sell firewood out in the front. So how are you going to have more than 1 kid? And the 1 kid usually ends up in horrible shape. And here's the thing: I was more or less an only child, except for my sister, who's my half sister. But until my brother was born, I was more or less. I was going to follow the same feet, the same. I was going to follow suit there, or my family was going to follow suit, because people don't have jobs. People don't have good, respectable jobs. Nobody went to college, Okay? Nobody went to college. I got a cousin that went to college, and she's, I think she's doing okay. She's got a house with her girlfriend, and she's obese, which is good. That's another thing that kind of happens in my family. People who just don't care about their health at all. And and they're only children, and then they're gay. That's really what it is. So I'm almost there. I was obese. I lost that. I don't really have any real prospects when it comes to a good job. I do this, which is nice. It's like a spiritual connection for me. It's like that's what you call it. That's what you call being a loser. That's how you dock it up. I do it because it's a spiritual. I have a connection. When I'm in front of a microphone, it's like, oh man, it's like I'm flying through the stars. It's like I forget that I can't afford socks. It's like I forget that toiletries have become a legitimate expense for me. It transcends time and space. It makes me forget that I may have to live in my car sometime soon. A car that that I can't afford to fix, which will also come up soon. So anyway, I digress. I've gone off on an incredible tangent. But Thanksgiving, you do whatever you guys do. Okay? Then everybody watches football. They pass out drunk. They pass out full. And then you wake up. Bing, 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 bing. And this may have been a little bit more relevant 5 years ago. The Black Friday thing 6 years ago, because people don't really want to go out. People don't want to be around anybody. I'm sure it's nothing. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's not orchestrated at all. I'm sure it's not orchestrated by the fact that you can do anything from your home. You can make a living from your home. You can, meet people from your home. Isn't that crazy? You can start a relationship from your house, right? You can do that. You can go on a dating app and just meet somebody, and then you can schedule dates and not go to them. That's awesome, because you don't want to go outside. You can eat from home. You can buy stuff from home. There's no sense. And home, by the way, being something you can't afford, right? Being a small space that you can barely afford. It, right? That's home now, okay? But I get it. Home is a feeling. It's a feeling. I feel at home right now. I feel at home, there's a roach right there. That's my friend, right? I open up when I went to go microwave my coffee, there was a roach in there walking around while the thing is on. I'm like, this is good. See, that's home for him. You get what I'm saying? That's home for the roach. That's nice. That's home. It doesn't matter what your home is. It doesn't matter that you're not going to own it. It doesn't matter that you can't afford it. It doesn't matter that you're paying someone else's mortgage when you're living in a room or an apartment. It doesn't matter. That shit doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? You can buy anything from your house. So people aren't really going out Black Friday shopping. There are still some. It's like people who go to the movies. It's like people who have AMC memberships so that they can go to the movies and they get like discounts on tickets and shit like that. I get it. But it's an antiquated practice now. But the old school Black Fridays, you can go on YouTube and it looks like a fucking Slipknot concert mosh pit in the fucking middle. It's like Rage Against the Machine. And people are just in a fucking Walmart just running amok, kicking old women in the teeth. Get the fuck out of the way. I need 4 TVs. I need 4 of them. I need fucking 4 of them. I got 4 fucking idiot kids. Okay, 2 of them share a room. The other 2 are in their own fucking rooms. And I need 1 so I can put something on while my husband gets on top of me for 3 minutes. So I got something to listen to in the background. I could put on CNN and I can bet on fucking Kalshi to see how many people are going to die from some disease that we don't know about yet. That's what I need the TVs for. Okay, but most people aren't doing that anymore, which is why Cyber Monday is the last part of this week of Americana. I think is what we can call it, of Americana, true Americana. I don't even know what that means. I just remember it from Pawn Stars. Guys would bring in like a fucking Coke machine. Or a Coca-Cola fridge. They're like, look at the rust. It's very America. It looks very and then some idiot goes in there and buys it for fucking $4,000 when the dude bought it for $400, you know? But that's it. I mean, that week, those 8 days, the week and a day, is I mean, really, if you go Sunday midnight, the deals are there, you know, Cyber Monday. The Cyber Monday deals are there. And I would have loved to cop a few things on Cyber Monday. There's some things that I need. But like I said before, I am down to my dick and balls, son. I'm trying to turn my pubes into quarters. I'm trying to find a motherfucker. I'm trying to find someone that can practice alchemy and can turn my pubes into gold. That's what I'm trying to do. I've been reading Alchemy. I've been reading Newton's fucking books on how to make gold. How can you make gold? Well, if you just shave your... That's the thing. They didn't figure out that you could use your pubes as the building blocks of gold. That was the thing that Newton had forgotten. Maybe if a bag of freshly shaven pubes had fallen on his head while he was sitting under that apple tree, he would have forgotten that gravity bullshit, and he would have figured out how to make gold, and the Anunnaki would be happy. We wouldn't have all these fucking problems. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's hard times for everybody. It's hard times for everyone. I'm not special here, but I do have some kind of a platform known as this podcast, where I will air it out and let everyone know. Now, my Thanksgiving was very different from everybody else's. Here's the thing. Here's what happened to me last week. Okay, this is how poor I am, by the way. I have on my to-do list, I have a few things on there, stuff that I'm trying to remember to pay, and you know, at some point. And one of the things on there, one of the things on the list is cobbler. Like, go see a cobbler to get my shoes fixed. That's how down to my dick and balls I am, bro. That I need to get my shoes fixed. Who the fuck gets their shoes fixed? I got like 3 pairs of shoes that I need to get fixed. Who gets their shit fixed? What is it? Am I going to go to a blacksmith next? Excuse me, sire. I need my sword to be fitted. It's 2025, and I need my sword. What am I going to go to a Cooper? Get a fucking barrel made? You guys didn't even know what that was. Coopers used to make wooden barrels. Imagine that job. Where the fuck do I apply for that? I would love that is a craft that nobody is interested in now. That's one of them things that went away. Nobody makes barrels out of wood anymore. Nobody makes anything out of wood. Nobody makes anything. How about that? How about we just end it at that? Nobody makes anything unless it's content. Unless it's some stupid thing that can keep people stuck to their phones. Me, one of them. Don't get me wrong. I know I like to pretend like I'm on some high horse. I am a degenerate piece of shit. Last night, I left an open mic, got home at 11:30, chain smoked on the walk home because I didn't do that great. Chain smoked on the walk home and ordered Taco Bell. That would normally be a $15 meal. I paid $30 for it, so some guy named Mamadou, which is never the real name, but some guy can take a really long time to deliver it to me. And I, you know, I ate that and I scrolled on my phone. Listen, okay? I do it too. I'm just angry. I'm just generally angry. If I lived in a world where none of this existed, I would find something else to be angry about. I'm not suggesting that if we went back, if I was in the 70s, oh boy, I would love that. No. I would find something to be fucking mad about in those days too. You know, don't let me fool you here. Don't be fooled. I partake in all this shit, and it angers me. But if I was born whenever, I would still be angry. It wouldn't matter. It just literally wouldn't matter. So anyway, the only thing people make or create now is our videos or little reels or here's a review of a fucking sandwich or maybe here's me making a sandwich or here's something incredibly sexual that has nothing to do with sex. Here's a woman that is a phlebotomist who's supposed to be taking your blood, but you know, she's making a hot face when a client comes in with, with hypertension. When a client comes in with hypertension and it's her turned around in some tight scrubs Since when did Scrubs become so hot, by the way? Scrubs used to be a thing that fat moms wore, even if they weren't in the healthcare field. It was like fat moms would wear that shit. Now scrubs are all tight. They're hugging on chicks' butts and thighs. And I mean, it's incredible, but there's not a moment that goes by where I'm not thinking about fucking something. And like, I'm already a man. That already happens. Now it's like just hyper. It's crazy. If I had zero willpower, I would just be in here. It's like the Family Guy thing where Quagmire comes out and the one arm is fucking huge. I would not have a dick. I would have ripped it off by now. I would have ripped it off. If I was one of these monkeys, these idiots that have zero willpower, zero drive, which, by the way, is diminishing by the day. So don't be fooled. Again, don't be fooled. But right now, we're still trudging on. We're still going, even though things are hard, things are tough. And I try to abstain from beating my shit, but I go on social media, and again, it's my algorithm. I understand. I completely understand. But what else would I want on there if it's not big fat ass and tits? Or some chick pretending to be fucked? Those are the best videos. Some chick that's just like, you're a good boy. That's right. And it's like them like moving, like their tits like swinging, like she's on top of you. Like imagine the way that she had to film that. She had to sit in her bed and just pretend that she was riding a dick. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. That's what people, you know what people make now? They make pretend. They make believe. That's all that we make. That's it. That's all people make, especially in this country. That's our main export is entertainment. That's what it's always been. Is entertainment. I know we had the boom at one point with the cars and all this shit, but once we outsourced that for cheaper labor, child slaves, and people in the Congo, and mothers in the Congo are down there mining for lithium, so we can have our cars that are apparently better for the planet, and we can have our phones so that we can watch videos of them doing that. That's actually what it is. So people here don't really make anything. They don't really create anything. Aside from, and then, so once all that shit went away, and then, we got into like the money scams, the money scamming. We made a lot of money doing that. And Wall Street got bigger. It got even bigger because everything got more saturated, and the economy became the global economy. The United States economy became the global economy after World War II, and it became the reserve currency and all this shit. And I'm kind of half talking out of my ass, but I think that's true. I think that's the timeline. Once we got to that, and our money was the best money, now we had the boom in the 80s and the 90s, people making a whole lot of money, and then boom, 2008, everything crashes, and then we recover, but now we're at a point where money, we've gotten to the point where we look at money and it's so incredibly abstract. It's more people are wealthier than ever, but there's also more people that are poorer than ever, the poorest they've ever been. So the discrepancy has gotten huge. And so the only thing that keeps people intact is watching shit continuously on a continuous loop. It's either people eating, mukbang videos, which are horrendously disgusting, but so entertaining. So entertaining. I mean, when I see a chick eating a mouthful of fucking noodles, just making, and the fact that people have to eat a certain way so it sounds better on the video, and it's like, and you're like, man, I can't get enough of this. I just want to keep fucking watching. I might beat my dick to this. And then, it's that, or it's some guy getting knocked the fuck out. That's what I have a lot of. Some guy getting knocked out, or some idiot that has a morning routine that he wants to show people, or some fucking Momo that get ready with me, or someone that's lip syncing a song or doing a dance. And that's what people want to watch. That's what people want to do all day. They want to scroll and do that all day because it keeps their mind off of how fucked everybody is, how fucked that they are. And they can just lay in their cell and they can look off to the side. They can lay in their cage and look off onto their phone, under their covers. They can order their food. They can meet people online, and that's fine. And they can pretend to know people. They can pretend to know people through the parasocial fucking thing, the parasocial relationships that we've gained that we've really created through the boom of social media and through all that. And then now AI is coming, and that's another reason for everybody to be very scared and very nervous because they're going to take our jobs. They're going to, and people tie their worth to their jobs very often, which is a sad thing, but it is true. It's true. We want to do things. We want to move. We want to shake. We want to, progress. That's what we want to do as humans. And the way that people measure that is through their job. It's very much through their job. The days of plotting out a piece of land and building your own home and living off the land and that shit is long gone. Some people do it, but the only people that do it, they only do it so that they can post it on social media. That's part of the reason why they do it. It's not the only reason. Some people legitimately want to do that, but you can't go out there and just do that and have zero stream of it. Like, you have to make money. So if you're going to go out and live that way, then you got to put it on YouTube. You got to have a page. You got to put it on Instagram. So you can't do that anymore. So, that sense of pride that people would get from having their own land and building their own life and doing that was another option. You can't even do that anymore. So that's being stripped from people. The only thing that's left is to die in a room alone or with somebody. You can die with somebody in your room. That's nice too. That's fantastic. I mean, I got a girlfriend. It's great. We spend a lot of time kind of just doing. And don't get me wrong, I love doing nothing. There's nothing better than doing nothing. But tasteful nothing. Okay? You got to have a bit of taste when it comes to nothing. And I've talked about this as well, but now it's like watching a movie has become a good use of your time because of how disgustingly saturated everything is with just cheap kicks. And not tasteful cheap kicks. There's cheap kicks like paying $10 to go watch a local band play. Okay, that's nice. That's a fun little, excursion, cheap. But I'm talking about cheap as in what I've described. Just constant stimulation of nothingness. You're not gaining anything. You're not learning anything. You're not. And again, it's not the most important thing in the world, but it is something that is very human. Okay? We're not supposed to be inundated constantly. And I say this as someone that's trying to make it an entertainment. Like, I'm sitting here making something, if that's what you want to call it. I'm sitting here creating a post. You get what I'm saying? So, again, I'm not on a high horse. I'm just angry. And I'm going to talk about it. So, how the fuck did I ever get here? My week last week, my Thanksgiving week, was treacherous. I think that's a good word for it. It was treacherous. So, the job I work at, as you all know, I've been a bartender and server and general bum for a little while. Because I think that job gives you, it's kind of a cheat code. Being a bartender is kind of a cheat code because you can work 20 to 30 hours a week and make more, if not more, than someone that's working 40 hours a week, and you have way less responsibility. So it is kind of a cheat code, and it's a shitty enough job that you can have a bit of edge, a bit of angst, that kind of is like, yeah, fuck the corporate shit. Fuck that whole structure, and I'm just gonna do this and make my money and save my money and whatever. And you get time to do whatever it is that you're doing outside of that. For some people, it's nothing. For me, it's comedy. But when you work in a restaurant, you meet everybody's an artist, everybody's a singer, everybody's a fucking writer, everybody's doing something else. It's a great thing to do when you're pursuing something else, but it's a shitty enough job where you can have a little bit of angst, but it's a good enough job where you can, because it's easy. It is generally easy, and you can make pretty good money. But the place I work at now, they just don't give a fuck about me at all. It's almost like the managers wake up and they're like, how can we make this guy's life even worse? Okay, and my life's fine. It's okay. I can't afford things that I maybe could have, last year or whatever the case is, but we trudge on, dude. I'm still doing stand-up. I'm still living a dream. I'm very happy about that. But when you eat tuna 4 nights out of the week, okay, It's not great. It's not the best thing in the world. I don't love it. It's not my preferred way to live. It'd be nice to be able to get a nice, a nice sit-down meal every once in a while. It'd be nice to be able to spare $30 to go take myself out and get something that I really enjoy. It'd be nice to not have to worry about spending $4 on a beer somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So I'm not entirely upset, and I know it's not entirely their fault. But it seems like every time I go to work, there's like a new thing that's going on to just fuck with me, to just absolutely fuck with me. So last week I was only scheduled 4 days. Okay, 4 days, and when I say days, I mean literal day shifts. Okay, people that don't work in restaurants. Even people that don't work in restaurants know that a night shift is where you make money. Okay, but I'm a comedian, so my nights are valuable. I do need some of my nights. That being said, I'm not a dummy, and I would like some night shifts. I would like some money at night. Now, here's the thing, okay? We have a small staff at this place, so we only have there's maybe 5 servers, and only a few of us can do both bartending and serving. So, 2 of those servers, 2 of the 5 staff were gone. One of them was on a trip. The other one went back home for Thanksgiving. Okay? So in my mind, I'm like, nice. I'm going to get some extra shifts. This is the other thing. I'm also the lowest on the totem pole because I'm the newest. And that's the thing in a restaurant. They like to use seniority. Like it's a fucking, like you've been at an insurance company all these years. I've been here 20 years. I get the corner office, and I get the underlings and the whole thing. So restaurants like to do that shit. They like to fuck around and do that kind of stuff. Like you're not a fucking, like the guy that's been there the longest isn't a broken ankle from being fucking fired. That's the thing, right? That's the thing in restaurants. They don't really give a fuck about you. So if you hurt yourself, or even if you're having a kid or whatever, they just say, get the fuck out of here. It doesn't matter how long you've been here. Tenure only matters when you're working for us. It doesn't matter outside of that. So I'm the lowest on the total, but I'm the newest. So I don't really get a lot of night shifts because that's where everybody makes the money. So they schedule me during the day, and then every once in a while they'll sprinkle in a night shift here or there. And they're usually very helpful and very lucrative, but it's not enough. Okay, so I'm looking at Thanksgiving week. I'm like, nice, this is awesome. I'm going to get some extra shifts. There's 2 people away. So instead of doing that, okay, they schedule me 4 day shifts, okay? 4 shifts during the day in a place where nobody goes out. It's one thing if you work in like a poppin' area or like a diner. If you work like in an area where there's like a lot of buildings and corporations and shit where people go out to eat lunch, that's perfect. That's a great gig. That's where I would like to work. But the place I work at, it's in an area full of entitled families. That's really what it is. It's really just families, and the parents are working somewhere else. They don't work in the area. Their kids are in school. So when it's like 3:00, people come out. But I'm not. I'm there from open to like 4. So I get an hour maybe of people coming in, and then I got to leave. So I'm really getting waxed. So I look at my schedule. They schedule me for, and the other person that I work with, one of the other people, gets scheduled 6 nights. Okay, 6 nights. 6 nights. I've been making $400 a week. Okay, $400 a week. That's $1,600 a month. My rent is $1,100 a month. I live off of my credit card. And I was looking forward to this week that was going to be a big help to me. And it didn't happen, okay? I make $400 a week, okay? I'm 28 years old. $400 a week. I live alone, okay? I have nothing. I have no prospects. I have nothing, okay? $400 a week. That is not livable at all. If I didn't have a credit card, I wouldn't be alive. Just put it that way. I would be back with my parents, which is basically the manic episode before I hang myself in my childhood room. That's it. That's all that is. If I didn't have a credit card, I would literally be dead. So I had to scratch and claw. I had to be like, hey, I went up to the guy. I was like, dog. And listen, hey, if I was him, I would be amped. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. 6 nights. Hell yeah. I'm going to make bread. So it's nothing. I'm sure he doesn't listen to this. But if he does, I want him to know that I have no qualms with him. I have no qualms with anybody that works there. I understand. I've been doing the job for a long time. The only person I have a problem with is the manager who's just not giving a fuck. They just kind of, they just kind of sweep me under the rug. So I had to go in and be like, hey, I need some shifts here. Okay, so I went up to him and I was like, dog, let me get one, if you can. I didn't even say, hey, let me get one. It's not fair. I didn't even make a thing about it. I was like, if you want a night off, you're working 6 nights this week. It's Thanksgiving. You want a night off? I got you. So he ends up giving me the night before Thanksgiving, Blackout Wednesday. I didn't get to celebrate. So he gives me that night. Perfect. So now I have Monday, Tuesday lunch, Wednesday night, close Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday mornings. Okay? Nice. This isn't bad. Then somebody gets sick. I'm working Tuesday morning. Somebody gets sick on Wednesday in the morning. Somebody's not going to make it Wednesday morning. Cool. I'll work a double. Give me those 12 hours. Beautiful. Then another person can't make their Sunday shift. Cool. I'll take that. Now I got 6 days this week. Okay? I got 6 days. I'm working over 40 hours. I'm going to get some time and a half on that last day. We're going to make some money. So the plan was after my 12-hour shift on Wednesday, I was going to get in my car and drive to Rhode Island for Thanksgiving so I could see my family. I wanted to do this, by the way. And if you know me, you know I would rather rip out my toenails than go see my family. That's not entirely true, but sometimes it is. Sometimes I would rather just leave it. But I did. I wanted to go see my family. Plus, my grandmother's getting older. She's cooking. I'm not going to get that many meals from her. I'm not going to get a ton of Thanksgivings with her. So I wanted to make it a point so that I could go. And I told my family, originally I was supposed to leave Tuesday night, but then they scheduled me Wednesday. And then I was like, guys, I have to do this. I have to work. And they were very understanding. And I was like, I'm going to come Wednesday night. I'll get there at like 2 a.m. on Thursday. I'll spend the whole day with you guys. I'll sleep over, and then I'll leave Friday morning because I had to work Friday morning. So I would leave Rhode Island at like 4 a.m. And I was willing to make all these sacrifices, and I was actually kind of excited about it. And everything, it seemed like things were starting to take a turn, at least for the next couple, at least for the month. At least for the month, it seems like I was going to have a good week. I was going to make a G note for the week, which is, if I get one of those a month, I'm a happy guy, okay? I get in my car after my 12 hours. I light up my joint. I'm getting ready to go get some food, and I pull off, and I hear just a demonic sound. A demonic sound from my vehicle, my car that I spent $3,200 on, and came with a bunch of problems already. Okay, I spent $3,200 and immediately dropped it off that day and spent another 6 or something, or 8. I don't remember what it was. So it's like $4,000 I spent on getting this car. And there's still plenty of problems with it, the electrical system. But as far as it running, it's fine. There's a really cool thing that it does. My sunroof stopped working, and it leaks, which is really cool. It's really cool because like if there's like a storm outside, then I can go to my car and it's soaked inside, and that's really cool. I love that. That's actually awesome because I can go to my car and it'll smell moldy for like a week, and I can look at the upholstery on the roof and it looks real bad and it's getting worse. And I love that. But I can drive the car. You know what I'm saying? Like I can drive the car. It's just it's a cosmetic thing. Whatever. The car's already an old. It's old, but it's got low miles. So I get in my car and it's making a horrible sound, and I tell my family, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, I can't drive. I can't drive. And the sound just sounds awful. It sounds awful. It sounds really bad. So on Thanksgiving, I wake up. It's my only day off of the week. I wake up, and not many of my friends are around. They're all back home. Hanging out with the hometown hero. No, that was the night before. But anyway, they're all back home, and I'm here relatively alone. So I get up, and I'm like, well, my car is fucked. Thank God I'm making money this week to pay for it. But of course, perfect time. Divine providence. that happens. So I'm like, I'm just going to drink all day. Fuck it. Whatever. It's my only day off this week. It's Thanksgiving. So I walk down the street. I get myself a little bit of bourbon. And then my buddy hits me up, the one that stayed here. And I got a steak. He got a steak. And we cooked them together. And we drank. And it was actually nice. It was nice. It was low stakes Thanksgiving. Get it? Low stakes. And, well, we actually smoked some weed. So they were high stakes. Shout out Eminem. My filet is smoking weed. Get back if the stakes are high. So that was that. And then this week, the week that I'm recording this podcast and talking to you guys, I get a quote for how much it's going to cost to fix my car, which is $1,900. $1,900. $1,900. $1,900 to fix a car from 2012 that I paid $3,200, put another $800 into, $4,000. It's almost half what I paid for the car. It's more than half what I paid for the car, but then you add that, it's half what I paid for the car, and I didn't make $1,900 this week in my paycheck, but I was pretty close. Which was supposed to be exciting. It was supposed to knock off a lot of credit card debt, which it's still going to do because I'm going to have to put the thing on I'm going to have to put the car on the card and then just throw that on there and be in more, So it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice holiday season. It's a nice gift. Okay? Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I know it sounds bleak. It sounds like shit. But you got to understand something, guys. It's the end of the year. We're rounding it out. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there to the next year where things are going to be great. It's going to be awesome. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's just, listen, none of this matters. People are betting on Kalshi on whether or not Ukraine will lose a border. Okay? Do you understand? Did you understand the picture that I just painted to you guys before of people sitting in their homes that they can't afford? Hey, listen. I'm in the same predicament. I'm not complaining here. In fact, I have something else outside of that. Most people don't have some other thing that they do. Most people just have the death and the suffering and the murder and the pain and the laying in bed, and that's what most people have. I at least have this other thing. But I'm sharing all of this with you guys just to keep you optimistic. Okay? Just to keep you optimistic. Because whatever situation you're in, I'm sure it's tough. And I'm here with you, motherfuckers. I'm here with you. And we're gonna probably wrap this bitch up on that. We're gonna wrap this bitch up, and maybe next week I'll have a guest and Billy will be here. I'm also considering starting a podcast where it's just me, because the last one I did alone actually got some decent views, but we don't do it for the views. We do it for the love of the game, baby. Thank you all so much for listening.